Welcome to AACS 15's coverage of Attleboro High School basketball tonight. The Bombardiers play host to one of their longtime rivals from the Big Three Conference, the Durfee Hilltoppers. Josh Perry and Mauricio Toro here at the Attleboro High Gym. This should be an exciting game right down to the wire between these two teams that post a lot of speed, a lot of size, and a lot of talent. And Mo, for the Bombardiers, the key is to get off to a very good start. And they started slow against Taunton. They got to get things going early.
And definitely, it's turnovers is one key point. And Bombardiers need to have control, maintain possession of the ball more, and move the ball to get open opportunities to get clearer shots and better shots off.
Against Taunton, the first quarter went pretty poorly for the Bombardiers. They fell behind very early, 20-9, and they weren't quite able to come back, losing on a 58-56 game. Very close one. We expect another close one here tonight. Mo, if the Bombardiers expect to come out with a win here tonight, it's going to be on the point guards, Steven Edmonds and Besley Vasquez. They need to hold on to the ball.
And you know what? They got to control that. Each player, every time they have the ball, they're going to have to penetrate more, create more opportunities for other players on the court, and make sure that, forget about the three-pointer. Focus on passing the ball, dribbling, making opportunities for your players, and kind of giving them an extra 2 to 3 seconds to shoot the ball or go up for a layup.
And as if there wasn't enough pressure on them already, trying to lead the offense for the Bombardiers. On the defensive end of the floor, they're also going to be the key because they have to shut down Matty Bodden, the Durfee point guard.
And Bodden, the last few games, he's scoring a couple major points, over 20 points, maybe up to 30, and Attleboro has to maintain control. They have to definitely play high-key defense if they're playing man-to-man, and if they're going to play a zone, make sure you spread the zone out and kind of make sure you put your hands up on them.
Durfee's trying to bring back that long-time rivalry. They're trying to bring back that feeling of Durfee pride. Well, Attleboro's trying to end that here tonight as they look to try to get their 5th win of the season. Coming up next, it's the opening tip. It's Durfee and Attleboro on AACS.
Winter in New England is always a struggle, with blizzards and freezing temperatures driving all of us inside. But on Saturday, February 27, 2010, there is reason to go outside again. The organizers of this summer's Expo for the Senses will present the first annual Winter Night Festival, a free, family-oriented event in the downtown that will light up a February evening. There will be a bonfire on the lawn next to the Arts Museum, ice sculptors creating works of art on the steps of the Kai Shang building, a winter craft fair inside City Hall, music and art in the museum, warm drinks, and a contest to decide the best soup in the city. The highlight of the event, thanks to the generosity of Bay State Gas, will be an outdoor ice skating rink in the middle of Gilbert Perry Square. So break out of the winter doldrums and come celebrate the season in the downtown at the Winter Night Festival, Saturday, February 27th from 6 to 10 p.m.
Dinner makes a difference. Learn more at CasaFamilyDay.org.
Welcome back to Attleboro High School as we get set for the opening tip. Durfee and Attleboro High, two Division I rivals that have battled each other for a number of years. And both teams with a pretty good legacy of top-flight basketball programs. Kevin Nasso wins the opening tip. Back to Besley Vasquez, Steven Edmonds, J.J. Gelasso, and Nate Robitaille. The other Bombardiers on the floor. Nasso battling for the rebound. It goes to Robitaille, and Attleboro get the first bucket of the game. They lead early 2-0, although there is some concern there as they led 2-0 against Taunton last time out and then proceeded to give up 9 straight points. For the Durfee Hilltoppers, captain number 3, Matty Bodden, is the player to watch, the point guard. Number 4, Hedgen Rivas Acabio. Number 10, Gary Mewborn. Number 13, Zach Glover. And number 23, Jaheim Allah Smith are the 5 on the floor for first-year head coach Stephen Mata. And he took over from Jeff Caron, who had been the coach here for 3 years before taking the AD job over at Dartmouth. Bodden getting the steal. Looks up quickly to Smith. Tries to dump it down, but Besley Vasquez able to recover. Now here comes Vasquez out of a little scrum. He takes it up strong, and it's knocked out of bounds, or they're going to say that he just lost it out of bounds after being bumped. That was Acabio, the 6'3" senior forward there defensively.
Josh, you can see right off the back it's going to be a fast-paced game. The speed Both teams have quick players, and it's going to depend on the point guards on controlling that.
I think this battle and who wins this game might come down to the number 3s on both sides. The 2 point guards, Vasquez and Bodden, as Bodden misses the first one. Cabanasso with the rebound. If there's been one consistent force all season long for the Bombardiers, it's been the junior forward. Cabanasso is coming in on the back of 2 straight 20-point games. He's had double-doubles, I think, in every game this season. He's just been an absolute monster. Gelasso through the lane, can't get it to go, and the ball's tipped away. Now here comes Mewborn trying to push. Looked suspiciously like a travel, but it doesn't matter as Nasso with another rebound. Now Edmonds takes it up strong, can't hit. Robitaille, though, on the boards, and he lays it home, and it's 4-0 Bombardiers. A very scrappy start. Well, neither team really able to control the ball. It almost looks like they're all rushing around a little too fast.
And, they're just forcing the shots, going up, not looking for decent penetration on the defense. And, Robitaille is one of the players that to get 4 quick points is big for him.
Bodden knocking down the 3. He's the man to watch. Vasquez trying to answer with a 3 of his own. Can't. But he's able to hustle and get his own rebound. One thing about these 2 point guards, they might make a lot of mistakes, but they're also very quick and they have very short memories as both of them try to be very aggressive. Vasquez picking up the charge. Zach Glover stepping in defensively.
And you can tell right there, Vasquez just picked up a quick charge. And you talk about speed with these point guards is that they're also going to have to control their body. Anytime they go up for a layup, anytime they're driving, there's other players that are going to step in to pick up that quick charge.
Drive and dish to the corner. Knocking down the 3 is Jaheim Allah-Smith, the senior guard. That's what Durfee like to do. It's what they've done for decades now. The drive and dish, they love to shoot the 3. And although Coach Mata has quite a bit of size he can rely on as well, they do like to go out. They do like to shoot the outside shot.
And it's so important for Attleboro to quick, if it's a zone, high-pressure defense, but you're going to have to realize where the shooters are and get out there putting a hand up.
Edmonds now traveling in the corner. Defended well by Bodden, although Bodden now shaking his right hand, which would be a huge loss for the Hilltoppers if he's not able to go.
Well, it all depends if he's a true point guard and he has a left-hander just like that.
And a good dish down to Rivas Acabio, and he lays it home.
And that's what a point guard is all about, Josh, is that penetration, has perfect, calm hands when he's driving to find his plays down low.
Great pass. Gelasso over the top to Nasso. He'll lay it home. Attleboro back within 1. Already approaching the midway point of this first quarter.
And Nasso is a player that we should hear his name a lot of times on this court or any court that when he's playing. Attleboro needs to get him going and make sure that he gets his proper touches on the ball.
I'm pretty sure that's already his 5th rebound of the game, and we're just 4 minutes in. And there's the drive and the dish. Vasquez to Gelasso, and he knocks down the 3. J.J. Gelasso gets his first bucket of the game, and Attleboro back out in front, 9-7. And Mo, that's exactly what you were talking about. Drive it into the defense and then pass it back out.
And that's all about penetration and, make the defense collapse and get those players off your own teammates.
Gary Mewborn fading away. The lefty knocks it down. There's 5 left-handers actually on this Durfee roster. Relatively unusual as Bodden's going to pick up a cheap one. Abiola Borished coming in for the first time. Jamie Resendez coming in as well.
And it's so unique, Josh, when you have a point guard, that can handle the ball, that's, is constantly, dribbling and driving and make sure the penetration is so crisp that any of your teammates are going to get open. And Bodden,
still holding that right hand, trying. It looks like he jammed a couple of fingers on his shooting hand. That could be a pretty big injury for the Hilltoppers.
Coach is going to have to take him out, evaluate him. If not, just tape it up and see where he can go.
I don't really think he wants to come out of this game. Attleboro under 10 on the shot clock. Gelasso trying to take it on Resendez. Now it's down to 3. He's able to sneak underneath them, but the ball never hit the rim. Doesn't matter. Mewborn with the board.
You can see the Hilltoppers on defense just always face-to-face on their players and not going for any type of fake.
Newborn down the lane, can't get it to go. I don't know if Robitaille got a piece. Now the shot clock approaching 10 for Durfee. Robitaille tips it. Borished not able to save it as it goes into the cheerleaders. That was Zach Glover who took the shot. Coach Mata using a lot of his bench early on. We expect that. The strengths for this Durfee team really are the depth and the size that they can bring off the bench.
And it's so important for the Bombardiers to get physical down there. Every time that ball goes up, they need to box out, find a player, move them out of that area, and get a rebound. You know, the last few games that we've noticed is that a lot of teams are getting a secondary, if not a third chance on offense, on shooting the ball or getting the ball back into their possession.
Resendez now from deep, and he buries the three. And it gives Durfee the 3-point lead. It's 12-9. Under 2.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Attleboro have got to extend their defense. They struggled last time out against Taunton with that, as Chris Green was able to get open from three quite a bit.
And it's so tough to challenge and defend when you have against a player that has the capability of getting a wide open shot.
Robitaille following his own miss, and he's able to get the rebound to go. 6 quick points for Nate Robitaille here in this first quarter, and that's going to be a travel on Bodden. We talked last time about how Robitaille sometimes can struggle getting into the flow of the game, but he's obviously gotten things going very early here tonight.
It's very important for him to get, you know, the easy points to start him and make sure he gets his engine going. And he's a player that once he goes, then he has more confidence in himself on making better decisions on offense.
He also has the capability of scoring big points. Here he is stepping out, can't hit the three. Resendez gets the board and throws it off the leg of Robitaille to keep possession for Durfee.
And Nate Robitaille is a name that we've talked about last year, being young, getting a lot of PT time on the court, experience. Coach Hull, you know, having confidence in him. Having him on the court this year is very key for this Attleboro team.
Resendez trying to go up over Sean Silva, who's come into the game, not able to get it to go. Nasso, another rebound. Vasquez getting into the lane, able to hang, but it's a little too short. And on the rebound is Rivas Acabia, and now he outlets quickly to Bodden. And Sean Silva is there for the block. Got to get on the glass, and now Nasso, a one-man rebounding machine for the Bombardiers. Dumps it down to Silva, and they're going to get the foul over the back. Bobby Hall, a senior forward, committing that foul, and that's going to send Silva to the line
and now
to shoot the first free throws of the night.
Now with a good decision on passing the ball. He caught the ball, he was off balance, decided to dish it. As you can see right there, did not have no type of chance on getting the ball up. And, you know, a player Nasso is that he's he has a head on his shoulders, he knows the game, he definitely makes good decisions out there.
Silva, the 6'5" junior forward, knocks down the first. Nasso is going to get a quick rest, as is Robitaille, as Matty Campbell comes into the game for the first time. Right now it's Gelasso, Campbell, Silva, Stephen Edmonds, and Aviola Borished on the floor for Coach Hull. Silva makes 1 of 2, but Gelasso gets the offensive rebound, kicks it out to a Borished. He tries to go up with a lot of contact, and now a foul underneath. It's against Silva. Attleboro still rushing it around a little bit too much on offense.
They definitely got to set themselves on their half-court offense. You know, run your plays, make your picks happen, penetrate to get your open player open.
Smith kicks it back out to Bodden as they try to move it around. Attleboro have dropped into a zone. Always a dangerous proposition against a team that can shoot as well as Durfee. Under 10 on the shot clock, down to 30 on the game clock. Edmonds reaching in, looked like he got a lot of the ball, but they say he got enough of the arm to call the foul.
And it's so tough as a player when you have quick feet, quick hands. Edmonds, you know, the quickness he has, he just gets that hand in there to get a little tip on the ball to make the ball deflect off the other player.
Durfee technically can't hold it for the final shot. There's 0.7 difference between the shot and the game clock. They're going to rush up a three, not able to get it to go. Campbell with the board. He throws the long pass, looking for Gelasso, but Bodden was aware. Got back defensively, knocked it away. And, you know, saw Campbell throw a couple of touchdown passes in the last couple of years, but not very often do they expect Matty Campbell to throw the ball like that.
In a full court pass like that, you're going to have to throw with one hand, not two hands. Make that a football pass. And you know, as they said, you always want to lead your teammate.
Nasso's back in for the final 16 seconds of the first quarter. Campbell getting back to the bench. Lasso swinging it across. Borished wasn't able to hold it. And it's out of bounds. The turnover giving the ball back to Durfee. 11.1 remaining here in this first quarter.
And you can tell that Durfee's just out there playing nice and smooth. They're running their plays on offense, popping it out on the penetration.
And with 4.4, another turnover gives it right back to the Bombardiers. Now they'll have a shot at taking this final possession of the first quarter. As Vasquez and Robitaille come back in. And looks like Nasso's going to head to the bench. Robitaille now needs somebody to inbound it to. He tries to inbound it long, and that's going to go out of bounds without touching anybody. And both teams are really making a meal of this final 10 seconds.
And, you know, you talk about the pressure and just forcing plays. And, you know, Coach Hull could be definitely upset with that decision on Attleboro. You know, it's only on the 5 seconds. It's a tie game. Why are you going to make your turnover status go up? You know, put the ball in, do 2 to 3 dribbles, get an open shot, and then shoot it.
Here's Bodden. It's down to 2 now. He's going to have to step back and take a shot. Instead, he kicks it over to Burgo, and it doesn't matter if it was good or not as they wave it off. And this first quarter starts just as it, ends just as it started, all tied up at 12 apiece. An excellent first quarter from both teams. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the start of the second quarter. You're watching Attleboro High School basketball here on AACS.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you ignore it? Or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To serve people you've never met? What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps, life is calling. How far will you go?
I knew I needed to go to college to get a good job. In high school, some of the other kids would drive by in their nice cars while I was riding my bike, but I didn't really mind because my goal was bigger than those things. So I talked to my guidance counselor at school, and he told me about federal student aid. They have over $80 billion to help kids like me go to college. So I filled out the free application, and now I'm in college. My name is Chris. I'm going to be a medical assistant. I'm going to help people.
Durfee will get the ball to start this second quarter, all tied up at 12 apiece. You can see Matt Bodden, the senior captain, still looking at his right hand. They were working on it during the break, and it's obviously not bothering him that much as he steps back and buries the jumper, giving Durfee back the lead. A long pass forward, and Attleboro struggling to keep possession, and finally Silva is going to get the foul. That's on Hedgen Rivas Acabio. Acabio, a transfer student, came in from Westfield just 3 years ago, living down in Puerto Rico. He's made his way to Fall River into this Durfee basketball program. One of 2 transfers, actually, on the roster. As Robitaille knocks it down in the lane. He leads the team with 8 points in the early going. And he's finding a few openings here in this Durfee defense right in the middle of the lane.
And that's where, you know, a player does make themselves open, just like Robitaille.
Here's Robitaille with the steal. Takes it on the break, and he's able to lay it in. Attleboro jump back out up in front, up by 2, and now Robitaille already in double digits for the night.
And you know, Nate Robitaille, he is the leader. He is definitely the key to this team to get going on offense. They need to find him and make sure that you keep his head in the game as a team out there and communicate with him.
You've got to be stepping out to the shooter. Bodden, good defense, collapsing all over him. Edmonds throws it ahead to Robitaille. Somehow he's able to keep control of it. He finds Sean Silva for the bucket, and Attleboro up by 4. And Coach Mata is forced to take a timeout. Attleboro off to a quick 6-2 run to start this second quarter.
And that's what definitely Robitaille is all about on fast breaks too. And, Attleboro, you can tell the last few possessions on offense and scoring is that they're playing smooth. They're passing the ball well. They're looking, when you pass the ball, we've seen that Attleboro is a team that when they pass the ball, they're just not looking and they turn the ball over. And that's why if they just remain calm, play your game, you're going to definitely get chances, just what we've been seeing the last 2-3 times.
And obviously, Mo, we talked about it in the open about how important it was to get off to that good start. Against Taunton last time out, they fell behind 9-2. It was 20-9 after the first quarter. And now you're playing catch-up for the final 24 minutes of the game. And it really can wear you out and down the stretch. They just didn't have the composure to get the victory that they needed in that conference game here tonight. Off to a great start, 12-12 after the first quarter. Now they can really start to work their way into the game, because this does seem like a team that sometimes it does take them 8 to 10 minutes to really find their way. Gelasso with the steal, all by himself. He misses the layup, but Nate Robitaille follows it up. Nate Robitaille, the captain, is everywhere right now for the Bombardiers. And Attleboro have their biggest lead of the game at 20-14.
And that's why Bombardiers need to be up, or as well keep it close within 5 points.
Bodden getting the bump and getting the bucket. The block was called, I believe, on Sean Silva. It was. That's his second foul. Take another look at Gelasso.
They say it's easy layups, but, when you have a trailer like Robitaille, it's a perfect play to have.
Nasso swoops in, gets another rebound. Kevin Nasso, the junior forward. We didn't talk a lot about him in the first game that we did. We didn't really know what to expect from him. We saw him a lot last year in the JV Mo, but we weren't quite sure exactly what to expect. Well, apparently we can expect a double-double just about every night.
And Nasso is a player that is very controlled when it comes to body size. He's not that big, but he does get rebounds. He works for his points. And he does have a great mind when he boxes down and posts up on plays. He knows how to work down low and to get that ball right off the backboard.
Good drive that time by Gary Mewborn. He lays it home and brings Durfee back within 2. The one thing about Nasso is Coach Houle is really expecting his team to get him even more touches. Nice crossover by Edmonds. Gelasso getting into the lane, and they're going to call him for a charge, which draws shrugs of derision from the Attleboro sidelines, as they are not at all pleased with that call. And Coach Houle talking after the Taunton defeat, where Attleboro seemed to be just throwing up threes indiscriminately. He was talking about how they really need to work their offense inside out. Get it down low to Nasso first, let Nasso, Silva, players like that, and then work your way out to the three-point line. Done a better job of it so far tonight.
And that's so important when you don't have a true shooter, when you don't have a shooter that can hit easy three-pointers, and that's where you got to work down low and create your shooters a better opportunity outside.
Edmonds getting into the lane, comes up a little bit short on the rebound. And Nasso, I think, deflected it off of Mewborn to keep the possession down on this end. Edmonds doing a good job getting into the lane. He's not able to knock him down in the early going. Now Vasquez and Campbell will come back in.
And when you definitely get the players with the ball down low, they have the smarts on getting the ball to the three-point.
And now Campbell is going to draw the foul after Nasso thought he had. The foul, I believe, is going to go against 23, and it is. That's Jaheim Allah-Smith. He picks it up. Matt Campbell will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the Hilltop is still playing physical down there. They're not going to make it easy for Attleboro. And, it's up to Attleboro to find those open spaces, find those open, opportunities. But in order to do so, is that without the ball, you got to move to those open spaces.
And so far, Attleboro have been aggressive, getting on the glass. And it's been a total team effort. Nate Robitaille, you've seen on the boards. Campbell, Nasso has been everywhere on the rebounds. Bodden steps up for the 2, a long 2, and Robitaille, as if on cue, picks up another board. Now he tries to push. Gets it inside to Campbell. Tries to flick it over to Nasso, but Mewborn comes away with it. Great hustle by Campbell to get back defensively.
And as you can see, Robitaille just slowing the ball down, and and that's where experience comes to play. That you definitely want to make better decisions. He saw that nobody was open. He wants to slow the offense down and kind of run a play and go from there.
And actually, I was surprised the last game that we did, the game against Taunton, in such a close, tight battle that they didn't go to Robitaille to bring the ball up more. Kept going back with Edmonds and Vasquez. I understand that the point guards, but in that type of situation, you think you'd give it to somebody who's slowing the ball down a little bit. Although now Robitaille gets the turnover and gets back defensively on Bodden. Now Campbell comes back and gets the board. And Bodden very upset, looking for the foul. Vasquez trying to push down the other end, and that one is swatted away with emphasis by Rivas Acabio.
And Vasquez, you can see, just trying to make body contact, but, you know, for a point guard in that size, it's very dangerous when you're going up against a 6'3" player. You definitely have to kind of give it a little arc over the arm and the hand.
Edmonds and Aborashed back in. Nasso trying to find Campbell, and Acabio knocks it away. Now Coach Mata throwing in 3 subs. Don't expect Matty Bodden to come out of the game too often. The captain plays big minutes. He put up 35 in an overtime win against Bishop Feehan earlier this year, and he put up 27 last time out on Sunday against their other common opponent, the Taunton Tigers.
And you can tell that the Hilltoppers, Attleboro has to be very cautious on the Hilltoppers, is that they're ready to make the run. They're ready to make those easy 3-pointers that they've been hitting in the first quarter. And that's where Attleboro's defense definitely has to keep up on the pressure.
Vasquez going all the way back into the backcourt to retrieve that one. Edmonds trying the entry pass to Nasso, and Nasso's able to pull it in, get the layup. Attleboro up by 5. Maybe a dangerous pass, Mo, but it got there.
A dangerous but a lucky one, and Nasso's a player that you definitely want down low with his hand skills. He has control. He likes to definitely use both of his hands when he catches the ball.
Vasquez called for the foul. As we take another look at Nasso, nice catch underneath. And one thing that you obviously need from your power forward, some pretty good hands, and Nasso's shown that. If you're going to be a good rebounder, you got to be able to catch the ball, and, well, he's done a good job of it on the offensive end as well. I don't think he's received maybe the perfect entry passes, but he does a pretty good job of coming up with them regardless. Now Durfee get it inside, draw the foul. We'll get somebody to the line. 3:20 left to go here in the first half. Attleboro up 23-18.
And you can tell that Matt, just definitely has to make body contact. Campbell's a player that doesn't put up, key points, but he does have a body. He does have position down there. He definitely gets physical, and he's also a player that gets down on the floor and gets scrappy when it's any time on the game.
Bodden having a word with one of the officials, trying to let him know what he feels about some of the physical play that's going on out top. Durfee now going to a full court press as Robitaille comes back into the game. Edmonds throws it long for Robitaille. He played wide receiver last year for football. This year obviously he was the quarterback, but he showed some wide receiver skills trying to keep in bounds as Resendez picking up a travel.
And you can tell right there, just forcing it and trying to get between 3 players.
Campbell gets it across. Able to find Edmonds. Nice pass to Robitaille. Takes the jumper off glass, can't get it to go. Acabia throwing it away. Here's Robitaille. Goes up and he gets rejected again. There's Nasso, another great catch on the baseline, and now, again, Durfee come away with it. Now they try to break. Kevin Burgo, the other captain, looking up ahead, but Attleboro do a very good job getting back in transition.
And, Attleboro just working very hard, down low, making other chances happen.
Now Aborashed comes up with the steal. He gets out on the break, and the second missed layup for the Bombardiers. Out on the break. They've got to take those opportunities when they come about. Bodden getting into the lane, and Aborashed reaching in, and he's going to pick up a foul.
And Aborashed with a frustration foul, and it's definitely an easy layup. And, we talk about easy layups, and JV we were watching, and don't quite know his name, but number 23.
Was Matt Borgelis, actually.
Had a chance to definitely win the game on an open layup, and, it looks so open, looks so easy, and it just does not get into the net.
Of course, they all look very easy from sitting behind this table. There's no question.
What are you talking about? I can be out there hitting layups with my eyes closed.
The Nerf hoop in your room doesn't quite count. Will play you like they played Kareem at the end of his career. You just basically stay down on your end. 4 people will play defense. We'll throw it back down to you every time.
That sounds good. We will need the EMT on standby.
Bodden knocks down the first. He's got one more. The foul on Aborshed was his first, team's 8th. Attleboro up by 3. Approaching 2 minutes left to play here in the first half. Bodden's got to be careful. He's playing very aggressive defense out top. He's already got 2 fouls. And now I think he might have just picked up his 3rd. Bodden with the reach in. And although Coach Amata might not have wanted to take him out and wanted to have him play as many minutes as possible, they might be forced to make a little bit of room at the end of the bench there for him, and Bodden, at least through the rest of this first half.
A player that he's so physical, he's so low level, he's so quick that he gets up in your face, especially when you're running the point. And that's so dangerous as a point guard, but it's also dangerous for the Hilltoppers when you're going into the end of the season, if you have the chance to get into the playoffs, that he's a player you need on the court. I mean, foul trouble is not something that should be in his category.
Ball tipped away from Nasso, but Silva's there with a little hook. That's no good, but Aborshed comes away with the ball, at least initially, and now they're going to say it went off of his leg and out of bounds, a turnover for the Bombardiers. Much, obviously, to the disappointment of the crowd.
And Attleboro just does have momentum on this side. They have to realize the time, the clock, run your offense. You are up. You know, don't lose that, focus.
This is Burgo, gets into the lane, kicks it back out for Smith. His jumper's no good. Robitaille on the rebound. It's 1-on-1 right now, and he's going to take it up strong, and he gets the layup. They're going to say, I think that Zach Glover was a little too deep, and Robitaille was on his way down before he even hit the Durfee player, so I think that's a good call. And Nate Robitaille with an excellent first half, and he's given Attleboro a 5-point lead. And now a timeout, a 22nd timeout is called by Coach Mata. Nate Robitaille has put up already 14 points in this first half. Mo, I don't think there's any question that he's come out very aggressive here tonight and trying to maybe prove a little bit of a point to us as we keep criticizing him, saying that sometimes it takes him a while to get into the games.
Well, I do hope so. I want him to prove us wrong. And he's a player that should prove us wrong, especially in a balance of points. If he balances his points throughout each quarter and not just focus on one quarter, if not the second quarter, focus on a balance throughout the whole game. And, he is so deadly as a player. The shots come to him, and Nate Robitaille is a player that just creates his own opportunities.
And what's good about a player like Robitaille, of course, is that he does it on both ends of the floor as well. He's obviously one of the better defenders on this team. And he'll also be aggressive, getting on the rebound, getting on the glass, helping out with the boards, doing all of the little things that you would expect from your captain. It's just on the offensive end of the floor that Attleboro, especially right now with Malik Johnson injured, that they need a guard to step up and provide a little bit more offense. Down to 8 on the shot clock for the Hilltoppers. Edmonds right up in front of Burgo, and they are going to bail Durfee out with a second left on the shot clock. Edmonds a little too close that time. Picks up his second foul, team's 9th. And Burgo is going to end up with a 1-and-1. Mo, you got to know the shot clock as a defender as well. You got to know 5 feet behind the three-point line, you can probably back off him just a step and not pick up that foul.
And Edmonds is a young mind, and he has to realize that, you just created the Hilltoppers to get a point off the free throw. And, you have to make sure that you keep an eye on the clock, the shot clock, and kind of give him space. He's 10 feet behind the three-point line. If he takes it and shoots and gets it in, then he deserves it.
46 seconds left to go in the first half. Attleboro up by 3. Durfee in the full court pressure again. Attleboro need to move the ball around there. Getting a little stagnant, and they throw it away. Zach Glover with the steal. Goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Nasso tips the rebound. Now Robitaille in there. They're saying that Burgo was on the sidelines. The officials disagree. Smith into the lane now. Silva trying to get the board. Now here's Robitaille. He has a Borished up there with him, although he's going to take it himself. And Nate Robitaille finds his way for the layup. Down to 12 seconds left to go here in this first half.
And for you young kids, that is what you call a left-handed layup. And Robitaille does have that skill.
Down to 3 on the clock. Burgo, pull-up jumper, no good. And Cabanasso, I think, is already up to double digits in rebounds. He's been everywhere on the glass, and the Bombardiers outscored Durfee 15-10 in the second quarter. And they're going to go into halftime leading by 5.
And you know what? It's all Nate Robitaille. You know, he's balanced, well-controlled, running, and, going up for layups. And with other players not so with great rebounding.
A good balanced effort from the Bombardiers through the first 16 minutes of the game. And they are going to go into halftime leading 27-22. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some of the first half highlights. This is Attleboro High School basketball on AACS 15.
It was a Sunday night. There was a forecast for a big snowstorm the next day, and at 6:52 p.m., the world changed, at least in terms of in the Hebronville neighborhood of Attleboro.
It was everybody's thought about it, that there was some danger there.
Yeah, we heard this high-pitched whistling sound. I could see the plant through the dining room window. I stood up to see what was going on, and kaboom.
Yeah, just a big fireball still, and the fire trucks coming because they were in the Twin Village in downtown station. It was 3 or 4 minutes to get there, and the fire trucks were coming, and it was just one big ball of fire.
But it just lit up the sky like you wouldn't believe.
I thought it was the end of the world. That sky was so lit up.
There was a real sense of danger there.
It was my built-in fear for the children and myself.
Nobody basically knew what the chemicals were that were going up,
This has to be one of the biggest stories. If you went did a history of Attleboro in the 20th century, because it not only the loss of life, the damage that took place, but also the hurt it took to the morale of the community.
Welcome back to Attleboro High School. Bombardiers leading their Division I rivals, the Durfee Hilltoppers, 27-22 at the break. It was the Nate Robitaille show in that first half, Mo putting up 16 points, including 10 in the second quarter, and he's really leading by example here in this first half.
And you can just tell the hustle with Nate Robitaille, and definitely getting confidence for himself as well as his team, as you can see, running on a fast break, and definitely not scared on going up for a layup. And he's a player that when he starts going and he gets fired up, this team is going to get fired up. Now, remember, you have Nassau that also averages double figures. And if Nassau starts going, it's going to be the Nassau and Robitaille show. And this is where the Hilltoppers has to be very cautious on just making sure you play physical with them and try to slow them down. As you can see, Robitaille here just definitely going up for a layup. And right there, you can just tell that once he's in mid-air, he has too much control, that enough to get that ball in the hoop.
And also showing a little hustle here, as J.J. Gelasso will probably want that replay to be burned forever, but good hustle by Robitaille following it up. We said it was the Nate Robitaille show. He's in just about every one of these replays, and that's for a reason, as he was all over the place for the Bombardiers. And Mo, it all starts on the defensive end. Matty Bodden with 8 points in the first half, but they've been sporadic. He hasn't been able to really get anything going, and he's been forced into a lot of long jumpers.
And Bodden, he's a player that he does have offensive capability on scoring a lot of points, but he also, the last few times we've seen him go down, just forcing his penetration. It does have foul trouble with 3, but he's a player that just needs to let the game come to you. You definitely have to pick your spots and make sure you penetrate and dish the ball out. You started off with the Hilltoppers hitting two 3-pointers, but the 3-pointers were so open and so key for this Hilltoppers that they penetrated, dished it out wide open, and That's what the Hilltoppers need to focus on in the second half to get some easy three-pointers.
And obviously that's what the Bombardiers need to focus on defensively. Players like Edmonds and Vasquez in particular, who keep ending up on Bodden, have to step up defensively and keep him out of the lane. They've done a pretty good job of it so far, Mo. Obviously a little too aggressive maybe at the end of the half with Edmonds picking up the foul with just 1 on the shot clock. But overall, the Bombardiers have risen to the occasion as far as playing physical and playing tough D.
And, you know, it's very important that they come out and tell themselves, we are up. Okay, we have the momentum. We have the control of the game. And Attleboro, we've seen before in the past, is that when they have the momentum, all of a sudden 2 to 3 silly turnovers get the other team back in play. And that's where you start chasing. And like you said earlier, Josh, is that Bombardiers cannot be chasing, especially when you're down. Come out here, keep on playing what you're doing, go up the defense pressure, and create more turnovers so the Hilltoppers can get definitely off key.
Well, through 16 minutes, the Bombardiers have done just that, and they have the lead to show for it. Now they've got to do it for another 16 minutes. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with the start of the second half. The Bombardiers leading the Durfee Hilltoppers 27-22 here on AACS.
As a parent, I know one of the most important times to be with your children is when they aren't feeling well. For many families, there's a place they can go to find the support they need.
Ronald McDonald House Charities programs provide that supportive environment so families can be together while their children are dealing with serious illnesses.
You can volunteer your time at a local Ronald McDonald House or drop your change in an RMHC canister.
Today is a great day for all of us to show our support.
To find out how you can get involved in your community, visit rmhc.org.
For me, playing volleyball for Team USA is a dream come true. You get to be on a team with other women and you get to be aggressive with the ball. In fact, it's encouraged. But while we're out there being tough and trying to win, we are doing something else. We are showing respect by valuing every player, coach, parent, official, and fan. My name is Taiba Hanif Park, and real athletes show respect.
We get set to start this second half. Durfee will get the ball to get things underway. Trailing by 5. Coach Mata here in his first year. Durfee, a former player. And, well, Durfee has a long history of being a very good basketball program. He's trying to reinstill what he calls Durfee pride. And they're going to need some in the second half as Hedgen Rivas-Acabio gets things started with the first bucket of this third quarter. It's Edmonds, Robitaille, Nasso, Vasquez, and Gelasso. Again, the starting 5 for Coach Houle. Durfee countering with their original starting 5 as well. Nasso not able to get it to go, battling on the rebound, and it's Robitaille. Of course, it's Nate Robitaille putting it back up and in.
And you know what, Nasso is definitely upset with that one. You know, he's a player that he knows those are the easy ones for him. And I guarantee you Nasso is definitely going to come back and get a few more points to kind of shadow that one.
Cabio not able to knock it down. The rebound is tipped out of bounds. I think it went off of Zach Glover. It's Glover, Jaheim Alice-Smith, Matty Bodden, Gary Mewborn, and of course Rivas-Acabio out there for Coach Mata. Sticking with their usual man-to-man defense, trying to get aggressive out on the perimeter. Nasso almost coming up with another great catch. Well, really, he's doing a lot of work without getting a whole lot in the way of good entry passing.
And you know what, Nasso definitely has to get his position down on the block. Right there, he was just too high, and you know, the Hilltops are definitely looking to double team. And you know, it's going to take Edmonds, it's going to take Vasquez to realize that you only have a good 2, maybe 3 seconds to pass him the ball. If you're waiting too long, the defense is going to realize that.
Now both number 3s have 3 fouls as Bodden takes it in the lane, draws another one. I think it was on the ground. I don't think they're going to give him the 2 shots, although he was dangerously close to having a walk. But good jump stop, I believe, on replay. The foul was on Kevin Nasso. That's his first, team second. Now the long 3 from Glover, and he buries it. Brings Durfee back within 2, and that's always the danger. It was the same problem last week against Taunton. They're going to have the same problem here tonight. You got to step out to these shooters because with as many three-point shooters as Durfee possess, they can make a run at any time.
And Zachary Glover with a beautiful jump shot from the three-point lane. And, you know, he's a player that definitely is not afraid on taking those shots.
Now Borchardt turns it over. Attleboro up by only 2.
And that's where, you know, we talk about this Attleboro team with turnovers.
Robitaille, another board. Looks up for Edmonds. Missed Gelasso over in the corner. And now Nasso dribbles it off of his foot. So Attleboro getting off to a pretty inconsistent start in the second half. Already in double digits going into the break in turnovers. Now they've got 3 quick ones here in the third quarter.
And, you know, and that's where we talk about Attleboro coming out, starting off a quarter, starting off a game and a half, is those turnovers.
Travel is called against Smith. So Durfee give it right back. You can see Coach Mana walking all the way down to the end of the bleachers to have a word with the official. They were also having a conversation with the officials as they came out of halftime. Gelasso tries to squeeze it through to Nasso, but Durfee pick it off, but Attleboro get it right back. Edmonds to Robitaille, and he's able to finish. 4 points for Robitaille to start this second half. He's already up to 20 now for the night. Now he's doing it all for the Bombardiers.
And you know what? It's all in the right time, right place.
As Bodden gets fouled going up for the 3. There's a couple of words for Steve Edmonds as well.
You can just see Robitaille going up at Edmonds, being a young player, and telling, you know, we don't need that. You don't need to foul, you know, a shooter on the three-point line. There's no reason for it.
There's another good look at Edmonds' pass. Robitaille making it look a little bit fancier by jumping before he catches the pass.
He's trying to get it posterized and get it out in the stores to sell, you know. And, you know, Robitaille, that's the thing about him as a player, is that it just seems like no matter how he catches it, he has a way of getting that ball into the net.
Bodden misses the first 2. There will be a third one coming. So Nasso doesn't get credit for a rebound. Not yet, anyway. That was the 3rd foul on Steven Edmonds. So now both Attleboro point guards with 3 fouls. And on the rebound, Robitaille arguing that he got pushed, but it ends up being an easy bucket for Durfee. And a real mistake for the Bombardiers. You can't allow them to get an offensive rebound on a missed free throw. Edmonds open from 3, and he knocks it down. Steven Edmonds, the sophomore, steps up, buries the 3, puts Attleboro back up by 5, and Coach Huell's going to take a 20-second timeout to talk things over. 3 minutes gone here in this third quarter, Mo, and Attleboro about as inconsistent as you can be in one quarter.
And this is a three-point that Edmonds does have to take, and that's what Coach Huell definitely tells him, is that those are your three-pointers right there. And that's what we talk about, open three-pointers. They don't have a special, you know, shooter, but you do have Edmonds that is able to hit shots like that. Now, when it comes down to consistency, is that Attleboro has to stay calm. They have to keep the momentum on their side. And that's where the defense comes into play, as well as making right choices when it comes to offense.
And Attleboro do have a number of players who can step out and knock down the 3, but I think, Mo, the problem is none of them are consistent at it. Last year, of course, they had Andrew Anderson, who was considered their three-point shooter, although I think he actually had a better junior year than senior year, as it turned out. But this year, there isn't really that go-to guy from outside the three-point line. Attleboro going into a little bit of full-court pressure. Matty Bodden breaking that about as easy as you possibly can. Now Robitaille gets the board. He throws it right to Mewborn, and he's forced to commit a foul. The mistake by Robitaille. He's forced to foul Mewborn. Otherwise, it would have been a wide-open layup, and now they're going to say that it was on the floor, so Durfee will take it out underneath.
And you can see that Robitaille, you know, definitely trying to get that fast break going.
Glover from 3. Robitaille did a good job to get out in his face, but it doesn't matter. Glover with his second 3 of the quarter and brings Durfee back within 2.
And Glover's just a player that just setting up for his three-pointers is so dangerous for the Attleboro team. He definitely has to keep an eye on him for the remainder of the game.
And Edmonds versus Bodden, and Edmonds turning it over, and an easy fast break layup for Jaheim Hollis-Smith. And now Durfee are back even at 34 apiece midway through this third quarter, and it didn't take them long to get right back into this game. Now Nasso trying to take it through the lane. Glover getting down on the ground is able to start a break. Coach Mata telling his team slow things down now. And wait and get it to the point guard.
And you can see the Hilltoppers starting to create offensive plays, getting that momentum back on their side.
Smith, though, it's rejected by Nasso. Shot clock down to 10. Glover from the same spot he hit one from a moment ago, but this time can't get it to go. But Acabio on the turnaround lefty jumper. He knocks it down and puts Durfee up by 2. Now Edmonds, kick out. Aborished open, and he buries it. And Attleboro get the lead right back. Two teams trading baskets. Now Bodden, pull up for 3. That one's no good. Nate Robitaille with the board. He tries to push. Robitaille through the lane, tries to dump it off for Gelasso, but probably would have done better to just take it himself.
And you know what? He's a player that he has to take it. And Coach Hull is going to definitely let him know. If you're on fast break, fast speed, you know, with the body size you have an open lane. You have to make contact on that layup and go straight up.
Kevin Johnson coming into the game for the first time for the Hilltoppers. And of course, we have to call him KJ, just as a matter of course. Another look at Nasso's block.
KJ's back, people. KJ's back.
That one is deflected out by Aborished. Good defending, good help defense that time as Sean Silva stepped into the lane.
And Durfee, you know, not taking, you know, any resting breaks for them. They're going to consist on making pressure on offense.
Smith can't knock it down. Nasso, another rebound on the weak side. Edmonds to Robitaille. He'll take the 3. That one's too strong. Got to follow your own shot. Instead, it's Bodden who gets the board. He tries to throw the no-look pass. Seemed to fool his teammate as much as it did the defenders. And Aborished recovering to knock it out of bounds.
And Matty Bodden, you know, he's the captain. You need to slow down and definitely control, you know, the pace, and definitely don't overspeed yourself. You know, he's one of the fastest players on this Hilltoppers, and he has to control his speed and make sure he doesn't force anything regarding passing. You know, you want to penetrate, but when you penetrate, make sure that when you pass the ball, there's one of your teammates there, not 5 feet behind you.
Well, he did signal my bad to his coach on the bench, so he obviously realized it. Here's Glover stepping into another 3, and it's no good, too short. And on the rebound, Robitaille tips it out of bounds.
And Attleboro, you know, still, you know, contesting with pressure and defense, and Attleboro definitely needs to keep their hands up because these Hilltoppers are waiting for those open 3-pointers.
That's a wild shot through the lane by Smith. And on the rebound action, another foul going against the Bombardiers. Or at least initially, I thought it was against the Bombardiers, but then he points in the right direction. The foul was against Kevin Johnson. So the possession goes to the Bombardiers. A lot of confusion that time. The official pointing in both directions. Vasquez running the point with Edmonds on the bench. He's guarded up top by Zach Glover. They've actually put Matty Bodden now over on Robitaille, so it might be a good idea for the Bombardiers to try to go through Robitaille and try to draw another foul.
And you know, if you're going to have Bodden on Robitaille, set up Robitaille on a post. He does have the body.
Aborished to Campbell. Robitaille underneath. And somehow he's able to force it up around Bobby Hall and get the bucket to go. Attleboro up by 3, minute 30 left to go here in this third quarter.
And Josh, you know, Robitaille just making it look so easy on his offensive plays.
Bodden going up strong, and he's very frustrated. He's not getting many calls as he takes it into the lane. Here's Robitaille, pulls up, and he knocks it down. Attleboro back up by 5. It's 41-36. Nate Robitaille is having himself a pretty good scoring night. He's up to 24 points to lead all scorers. Nobody else is even really close.
Balance and scoring is key for you, Robitaille, and this is what he's been doing in the first, second, and third quarter.
Now a three from Jaheim Smith. He buries it, and Coach Mata is going to take a full timeout. 56.7 left to go here in this third quarter. Attleboro leading Durfee 41-39.
I had to stop going to community college because my mom was unable to work, so I had to pick up the slack. I found out about the federal student aid program through my English teacher. When I first had the news that I received money, I ran downstairs and I showed my mother, and she was happy, so she started crying. My goal is to finish college and get my degree in journalism. My name is Jared, and this is my story.
Need help paying for college? Go to Federal Student Aid. Start here, go further.
Coming out of the timeout, Attleboro will have the ball. 56.7 left to go in this third quarter. They get the ball into Vasquez, now guarded by Kevin Burgo, who's just come back into the game, along with Jamie Resendez. And the Borished has it deflected away. Thought it had gone off of his hand. Obviously, we don't have a very good angle.
And Josh, the Hilltop is playing very tough man-to-man defense. And Attleboro, this is where your offensive plays come very crisp when you come picking, running off picks, cutting through, and making sure that you get an open area to go to.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. Robitaille, open jumper again, and he buries it. Matty Campbell setting the pick, and Nate Robitaille knocking it down. There's a 2-second difference between the game and the shot clock. Actually, they now shut off the shot clock. Durfee turn it over. Attleboro up by 4. They'll have 22.8 remaining here in the quarter. And Campbell's going to take a quick breather and let Edmonds come back in to get one more ball handler out there for Coach Houle.
And, and that's why Nate Robitaille is the player that he is. He can hit those 10-footers, those layups, those jump shots. When he's on fire, he's on fire. And you know what? He's continuing to play with great skill.
Down to 6 now here in the quarter. Edmonds trying to get into the lane. That's going to be a double dribble. With exactly 4 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and now Bodden is going to come back in for Coach Mata for this final possession. Both coaches right now trying to manage their point guards, who are all in foul trouble, each of them with 3. Gelasso coming back in off the bench. He's going to try to guard Bodden full court, and that goes off the foot of Gelasso, and with 1.1 now, Durfee will have to try to go the length of the floor.
And this is where the Hail Mary comes into play. And the Hilltoppers, they just got to get it in, get the quarter over with to get this fourth quarter going.
Bodden nearly hits a 3-quarter court shot, but it was waved off regardless. So Attleboro allowed Durfee to get right back into the game. They take a quick lead, and then they recover, and they'll go into the fourth with a 4-point advantage. It's 43-39 Attleboro. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, the final 8 minutes of a tight one here from Attleboro High School.
What does hope look like? Sometimes it's a hug or a laugh, and sometimes it's a future without worry. But most of all, hope looks like these children and me, who live with type 1 diabetes. The Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation continues to accelerate the crucial research that represents the real hope for a cure for millions of children and adults. Their hope is boundless, and with your help, we'll find a cure.
Hi, I'm Russell Simmons. Today I want to talk to you about a very important subject, and it's cruelty to animals. Emmy was a victim of cruelty, and someone did something about it. Someone called the ASPCA and put an end to it, because Emmy can't talk. The fact is, animals are abused all over this country, and people sit by and do nothing. It's not slick or fly or cool or none of that. It's just cruel. If you're aware of any animal abuse, go to ASPCA.org and find out what you can do now and make a difference. She can't do it for herself.
Attleboro will get things going here in this fourth quarter, leading by 4. Nate Robitaille is the star of this one, as he has scored 10 in each of the last 2 quarters. He's up to 26 for the night. Putting on a show on the offensive end. Now here's a 3 from the corner. It was an open 3, an open look for Gelasso. Now Edmonds getting in, and he gets the steal, and I believe the official on this side was going to call a foul on Smith, but he cedes the call to his partner, and they get a jump ball. And this looks like Edmonds has both arms around the ball, and it looked like Jaheim Smith was really just reaching over the top and grabbing him, but it ends up being a turnover.
That's why the refs wear striped shirts and they have the whistle. They'll definitely make that call.
That's why we're announcing, so we get to argue the calls. Glover with the reverse. A pretty move from Zach Glover. It brings Durfee back within 2. They've already played some close games this season. Both of these teams have. Durfee played an overtime game at Bishop Fee, in which they came out with a 2-point victory. And also very close at Somerset in a 3-point win, as Glover gets the steal from Edmonds. And he's able to make the move to tie things up. And Coach Houle taking a deep breath as, again, another silly turnover.
And Zachary Glover with a good decision on getting down low, quick hands, making the steal. And he's a player with 2 3-pointers, but does have skills on taking it up for a layup when he has a chance.
Attleboro down to 10 on the shot clock. Vasquez gets it to Nasso. Now here's J.J. Gelasso, gets it back to Edmonds. Down to 5 now on the clock. He's got to make his move, and he does. Get free for a jumper. Too strong, and a good rebound on the weak side by Mewborn. Aaron Mewborn pulls it down and brings it up. Matty Bodden trying to move things around. Coach Mata telling him take his time, as Durfee have worked their way back to a tie. Glover again goes up strong. Nasso there for the rebound, and now a foul is going to be called. Pretty late call, actually, on the baseline. It's Nasso's second, and it's going to send Glover to the line.
That's definitely a tough call, and I did not see. Nasso did hit the backboard, but
I don't think he actually hit anything. First free throw is good from Glover. He's got all 5 of Durfee's points here in the fourth quarter. And Durfee have gotten themselves right back out in front. They did this in the third quarter as well. Attleboro were able to recover, but you don't really want to keep allowing a team to get right back into the lead. You want to be able to close out a game going into the fourth with the lead.
You know, Attleboro needs to control their offense, make good decisions on finding your shot, and definitely keep your defense going.
Vasquez, the pass to Nasso. He goes up strong and is able to lay it in. Ties things back up at 45 apiece. A good move that time by Besley Vasquez. We talked earlier about the good hands of Nasso, and he showed him again on that play.
And Nasso's going to, definitely get looked into on offense. Attleboro needs to find him, use him on the post, and definitely make him make this Hilltoppers foul Attleboro to get on the line.
Kevin Nasso's coming off of back-to-back 20-point performances. He's only got 6 here tonight. Attleboro with great defense. Glover trying to get through the lane, and a foul on the floor. The shot clock down at 3. That's the second time tonight that Attleboro have committed a foul with the shot clock under 5.
And Glover just doing the crisscross move, and
Gelasso seemed to get quite a bit of them. Can't argue the call, and I think we're more upset that Attleboro keep committing those fouls. Nasso does a good job to close out on Bodden. Wasn't able to knock it down. Now here's Vasquez. Great interior pass to Nasso, and now Attleboro are the recipient of a tough call, as Hedgen Rivas Cabio gets called for the foul, and that's going to send Nasso to the line.
And a good look, good position on Nasso down low, and you definitely want to make body contact when you're that close and you're going up.
I guess the question is, did he really actually make body contact when he went up for that one? I'd say it was minimal at best, but I suppose from the Bombardiers' point of view, they're going to take it no matter what. Nasso rims them both out on the rebound. Acabio gets it across to Mewborn, and now Bodden will try to push. He's got an open man in the corner. Bodden tries to dump it down. It's a very tough pass. Acabio has it knocked away by Gelasso. And now a 3-second call, I believe, against Acabio.
And Josh, good defense for the Bombardiers, keeping the pressure on and making sure that ball does not go through any of the cracks.
We're under 5 minutes left to play. All tied up, 45 apiece. And Gelasso dropping it on the sidelines, but as Bodden picks it up, a foot on the white line, and he'll give it right back to the Bombardiers. Attleboro getting a little fortunate They've got 18 on the shot clock, and now I think Coach Houle is signaling for a timeout. He's going to take just a 20-second, 4:46 left to go. Mo, we predicted in the open that this would be a tight one. That's exactly what we've seen. Neither team has really been able to build out a lead. I think the largest that we've seen from either team is somewhere around 8 points. Both these teams very well balanced, and I think this could be an exciting 4 minutes.
And, you know, the first 3 quarters of this game, the Bombardiers maintaining control, making good decisions. You know, you got Robitaille on fire, and, you know, you definitely have to be safe when you have the ball on offense. And the Hilltoppers are definitely making the last few turnovers that the Bombardiers have made into points. And that's where the Bombardiers need to stay focused. You have this game. You have the momentum. It is a tight game. Just pick your shots. Keep on doing what you've been doing, but also don't make silly turnovers. And on defense, you got to keep the pressure up. You definitely got to focus on those 3-point shooters, because the Hilltoppers, you can see out there, there's Glover out there. You got, you know, a couple. He's definitely setting up for a 3-pointer, and that's where you got to be very careful.
They try to inbound it straight to Nasso. Maybe another force that time trying to get it inside. Bodden with the pass, and they're going to get Silva coming back. A silly foul committed by the junior, and Gary Mewborn will have a chance to complete a 3-point play from the line. Really no need for the foul. You can see him get him on the forehead.
And it's so tough when you're on a fast break and you're behind a player, you know. When you're behind a player and, you know, you're already beat.
Mewborn short on the first free throw. Durfee on an 8-2 run to start this 4th quarter. They've gotten themselves out in front by 2. Now we got to see some resiliency from this young Bombardier squad. Again, Vasquez, tough inbound, tough entry pass to Nasso. A lot of contact once again, no call. Ball knocked out of bounds. You can see the frustration from Keba Nasso as he does not get the call going up for the layup.
And Nasso, when he gets down low with that ball, Nasso, do what I created. A pump fake, let that play go up.
Now Robitaille with the catch and shoot, and he knocks it down to tie things up. He's got 28 points on the night, and we are all tied up again, 47 apiece. And I think maybe they got to get the ball to Nate Robitaille a little bit more as well. I think he had gone a few minutes there without a touch, and when he's on fire like he is, he needs to touch the ball as much as possible.
And that's where you run plays to make him get cut and get open shots. And as you can tell, he's been hitting them all night long.
Mewborn spinning into the lane, not able to get it to go. And another foul on the rebound. Just the 3rd on the Hilltoppers here in the second half. And I think it's on Mewborn. A little bit of a frustration foul as Silva gets the board.
And, you know, for both teams of coaches, that's what you don't need, those frustration fouls, because it's going to slow down the tempo of the game. It's definitely going to slow down what you've been trying to create on fast breaks, quick momentum, and you don't want to do that.
3:45 remaining in this 4th quarter. Robitaille being guarded right now by Matty Bodden. Robitaille able to get into the lane, and he gets the kind bounce to put Attleboro back out in front. Nate Robitaille with back-to-back buckets, and Attleboro are in the lead. Bodden can't hit. Nasso with another board. And quickly tries to push it up ahead to Robitaille. Drops it down to Silva, and he will draw the foul on Bobby Hall and get himself to the line to try to shoot 2 and try to extend this Bombardier lead.
And you can tell that Robitaille, as much as he can score tonight, he also can pass the ball, dishing, as you can see, penetrate, make the defense come out. You know, and Silva definitely going up straight up, and that's what you need from a player that Robitaille is.
Good job by Silva as well to make the catch, because that was a difficult pass from Robitaille. The bounce pass was low. Silva able to get 2 hands on it, go up strong. We mentioned how Durfee have been involved in a lot of close games this season. Well, the Bombardiers have had their fair share as well, as they are coming off back-to-back games last week. One on the road at Barnstable, which came down to a Besley Vasquez layup with a second remaining to come out and get the victory. And then a loss here to Taunton in a game which, Mo, they had several possessions trailing by 2 to try to come up with a victory and turned it over each time.
And, you know, in those games that you think about, you know, you have it in the bag, you have a W. Attleboro just, you know, lost control when it turned the ball over, and the teams that came back to win are teams that are able to make turnovers turn into points. And that's where Attleboro need to understand, is that once you're up and you have control of the game, is Don't lose momentum. Don't lose any type of control when it comes to turning the ball over.
One thing that could be a factor for the final couple of minutes is Attleboro, that was their 8th team foul, so Durfee will be shooting free throws from here on out. Durfee, on the other hand, have only 4 fouls here in the second half. Attleboro can bring it under 3 minutes left to play on this possession, leading 51-49. Vasquez against Bodden. Bodden getting right up in his face. Now here's Robitaille. And again, into the lane. Again, a lot of contact. Nasso with the board. Has it rejected by Mewborn, and another late foul call is going to put Keba Nasso to the line. He missed his last 2. Now he gets a chance to try to atone for that.
And Nasso, you can tell, just going straight up. Foul on the wrist. And, you know, we talked about the last few minutes of the game, and foul shots are so important.
His teammates at the line trying to show him the form as Nasso 0 for his last 3. The fans trying to show him the form as well with the spirit fingers up in the crowd. And he knocks down 1 of 2. Attleboro up by 3. Bodden breaks the pressure.
And now here, every defensive play for Attleboro is very key. They have to contest on those 3-point shots.
Bodden into the lane, and Nasso rejects it out of bounds. Good help defense by Keba Nasso. He hasn't really been able to get the scoring output going, but he's been there defensively, and he's been a monster on the boards here tonight.
And for Attleboro's focus, every offensive play that Hilltoppers are trying to get, let them work for it.
Bodden, pump fake, step back for the 3. Nasso with the rebound. Robitaille was trying to break, but I think they'd be better served to settle things down, and that's what Coach Houle is looking for. And now a reach-in is going to be called on Smith. Just the 6th team foul on Durfee, the 2nd on Smith. So Attleboro 1 away from the bonus. Down to 2:27 left to play. Coach Houle, as Vasquez was bringing the ball up the court with both hands, trying to slow him down, trying to play traffic cop at the moment, telling his team to take some time. And before the inbounds, as Vasquez was struggling to get it in, Coach Houle takes a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. 2:27 to play. The Bombardiers leading Durfee by 3.
Hi, I'm Albert Pujols, and I play baseball. Today I'm going to bat for kids who need dental care. Every child should be able to eat, sleep, and learn. Well, that's pretty hard to do when you have a toothache. Tooth decay is one of the leading reasons why kids miss school. The American Dental Association Give Kids a Smile program wants to help. Kids cannot be healthy without good dental health. Visit our website and give kids a big smile.
Please visit our website at givekidsasmile.ada.org.
Attleboro will have the ball out underneath their own basket. Up by 3, fresh shot clock. Probably trying to look to get the ball to Nate Robitaille, who's put up 30 points here tonight. Did that once last season as well, and that was the overtime game against Bishop Feion. Vasquez again looking for the entry pass. It's just not there for him tonight.
And they should definitely find Robitaille and Nasso on the same side. You can work off the wing as well as posting up with Nasso down low.
Gelasso, good pass to Nasso. And he's able to get it to go. He's looking for the foul. He's not going to get the call, but it doesn't matter as Attleboro are up by 5. And now Vasquez called for a touch foul in the backcourt. That is his 4th. And it's going to send Bodden to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Although it's one place that Matty Bodden hasn't really excelled here tonight. It's just 1 of 6 from the line.
Vasquez,
but a silly foul, though, Mo.
You know, definitely, you know, you're up. There's close to 2 minutes to the remainder of the game. And as a player, you definitely got to get back. You know, if your coach is not calling for a full court press, back it up and get a better, you know, chance on defense.
And obviously, Coach Houle calling for the full court press and not to try to pick up fouls and not to send Durfee to the line. He just wants them to use up some clock. Bodden knocks them both down. Clutch free throws from the captain. Brings Durfee back within 3. Now they go with the full court pressure. Vasquez picking up his dribble. That's a mistake. Nasso to Vasquez. Attleboro getting a little bit lucky here. Now it's Robitaille. Kicks it to Gelasso. They go inside to Nasso and count it. And the foul, a big bucket from Keba Nasso. This time he does get the call. And now he's going to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
And all night long, he's been trying to get that ball at the right place. And as you can see, and he got, right down low, and he went straight up. And that's why Nasso is so strong down low, is that when it's that right spacing and the right time, he gets the ball into the net.
And he knocks down the free throw as well. A double-double again for Keba Nasso here tonight. He's been a double-double machine this season. Mewborn open from three. Silva doing a good job, I think, getting out there, giving a little bit of pressure. Akabio can't hit. Keba Nasso with another board. The ball is loose. J.J. Gelasso will get it. And hopefully slow things down a little bit for the Bombardiers. Oh, no, Vasquez. No. This time the entry pass, they're calling 3 seconds on Nasso down on the block. Attleboro leading by 6, a minute 21 left to go in this game. A little bit out of control, but as we go to this break, they still are in the lead.
Only on public access.
Bombardiers trying to hold on, leading 57-51. Minute 21 left to go in this game. It's on this end where they're going to need to step up. Glover open for three. This one's too strong. And Silva on the board. He lost it for a second. Matty Bodden going up. Acrobatic attempt at the layup. And then Nate Robitaille knocks the interior pass out of bounds. It's going to stay Durfee ball with a fresh shot clock. They say that he kicked it down to a minute 3 left to play. Attleboro looking a little out of control. We were yelling no, no, no as Vasquez appeared to be going up for a three-pointer that they really don't need. But they need to step up defensively. Silva, you can see him reach down, and he's going to pick up the foul, send Zach Glover to the line.
And there's a couple things, Josh, that for Attleboro needs to focus on. You have the game up. You're up by 6. It's under a minute left. Forget about the fast breaks. That last possession, they got it. Also, you see 2, if not 3 Bombardiers already at half court. Play your defense. Be smart, and don't pressure too much that you're going to foul and stop the clock.
And you know that Durfee is going to come out and they're going to do a full court press. The guards and the ball handlers need to come back to the ball and help out. They can't expect players like Nasso and Silva, as Silva goes to the bench, Edmonds back in to get one more ball handler out there just to prove my point, I suppose. They need to slow the ball down, come back, and break the press with a pass.
And this is where you definitely cannot, you definitely don't want to pick up the ball if you're running the point guard, as Vasquez just did.
And the foul was committed by Jaheim Allah-Smith. He's not pleased about it, and I think the official showing very good restraint, Mo, as there was a couple of words said here, and he was very upset. I think the officials did a good job. No sense of giving him a technical. Let him calm down, heat of the moment. And what it's going to do, though, is send Vasquez to the line to shoot a 1-and-1, as that's the 8th team foul on the Hilltoppers. The junior can't get it to go. Nasso can't get the board. Mewborn being pressured by Robitaille. Now he finally gets it across to Bodden. It's a 4-point game, 45 seconds left, and Matty Bodden is able to get it all the way to the basket. Vasquez to Gelasso. That was much better from the Bombardiers on breaking the press. Vasquez into the lane, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, needs to pull it back out. They don't need to get buckets. And Nasso is fouled on the floor, so it's going to be a 1-and-1. Clock down to 22.5 here in this fourth quarter. And Mo, I know they're young, but the Bombardiers got to realize that in this situation, they're up by 2. They don't need to score another basket. Just pull the ball out and run the clock.
And Gelasso, very active on going straight up. And thank God for Nasso getting a rebound.
But he rims out. Robitaille, though, gets the board. Now here's Vasquez. Now he does the smart thing in pulling it out. Zach Glover tips it out of bounds. Clock stops, 17.6 remaining. And a timeout is called by Coach Houle and Mo. Here we go. Down in 20 seconds remaining. And the Bombardiers just keep going up to the basket, trying to get layups. They don't need to score. They're up by 2. We saw it in the JV game. The Durfee team battles back for a tie. They were in the chase and foul type of mode, and after tying the game, one of their players rushed over and fouled a Bombardier to put him to the line, even though it was a tie game. Right now, the Attleboro seem like they're in that mode as well. They're a little out of control and really need to realize the situation.
And, you know, you talk about Attleboro in control to the fact of you're up, and you have the ball in your possession. Your main focus is to get the ball in your best foul shooter, free throw shooter, and that's going to depend on, you know.
I'd imagine it probably Robitaille.
You know, definitely Robitaille with experience, his leadership, the way he has had the hot, shooting tonight. Try to get the ball in his hands. Keep the ball now, so run off on a pick, as well as just run on the post. Create separation from your player. Your player has height. Keep him away from the ball. So it's all about the decision of the guy that has the ball, and it's Vasquez, Edmonds. You have to make better decisions and better passes, because right now you have the ball, the game in your hands.
And obviously, one of the big situations is the foul issue as well. The Bombardiers will shoot 2 each time that they go to the line from now on, as this will be the 10th team foul on Durfee. Got to get the ball inbounds, though. And they go all the way to the backcourt to Gelasso. Now Edmonds. Vasquez, Attleboro moving it around, down to 10 seconds left. Durfee need to get a foul. And now finally they do, as Glover and Jaheim Allah-Smith converge and get the foul, but the Bombardiers able to use up 12 extra seconds off the clock, down to 5.9 remaining. Great ball movement that time from the Bombardiers, and finally Edmonds gets fouled and will go to the line. 2 very huge free throws for the sophomore point guard.
And the Hilltoppers' bad decision on taking forever to foul, and, you know, a good, pass in with the Bombardiers, but Edmonds with the first free throw miss. It's so very important that he hits this shot.
A timeout taken now by Coach Steve Mata. I don't know if he's trying to ice the shooter or what the strategy here is. There are some players in foul trouble. Jaheim Allah-Smith has 4, as does Besley Vasquez, 3 each for Matty Bodden and for Stephen Edmonds, which could become an issue, as this is just a 2-point game. Overtime is a very real possibility. We actually saw overtime in the JV game here tonight, as the Bombardiers JV squad battled back from 17 points down in the second half to force overtime before Durfee took back control and ended up winning the game by, I believe, 10 points. Right now, the Bombardiers need a big free throw from their sophomore. That would make it a 3-point game.
And, Edmonds, this is a key free throw for them, because it puts them up by 3. And with the Hilltoppers shooting the 3-pointers tonight, it keeps them safe on losing a last-second 3-pointer to the Hilltoppers.
So Edmonds at the line. He's got 1 more. We're just under 6 seconds left to play. Edmonds too strong. Nasso battling for the rebound. It's loose, and it's stolen away by Besley Vasquez. Bodden is forced to give the foul. And Attleboro get the ball back and will send somebody to the line. 1.1 on the clock. And Besley Vasquez has a chance with 2 free throws to ice this game. And once again, Mo, Keba Nasso coming up huge, getting another rebound, or at least battling for another rebound. And forced the scramble situation. I think Nasso is up near 20 rebounds here on the evening.
And Nasso with those long arms and good hands. Vasquez hits that free throw, and this one can ice the whole game right here. And that's why Nasso is so big on rebounding. He's always there at the right time, at the right place. And this is, if they pull a W here, is just in that last play.
And Besley Vasquez steps up, knocks down 2 free throws, and gives Attleboro the 4-point lead with just a second remaining. And Smith not even able to get up a shot. A huge win for this very young Bombardier squad as they hold on to beat the Durfee Hilltoppers 59-55. It was a game that took just about everything they had and showed a lot of resiliency for this young Bombardier squad, Mo, because they allowed Durfee to come back. They got a lead in the fourth quarter, and Attleboro responded and came away with a 4-point win.
And you talk about the whole game, the first, second quarter, third quarter, Attleboro just had control, momentum, keeping the turnovers down, creating opportunities. And when you create opportunities, you get the offensive points. And definitely on defense, they just kept it up and worked for it. It looked like they started losing the momentum in the fourth quarter with the Hilltoppers trying to make a big run, and they kept cool about it. And this is why Attleboro is so dangerous if they become a full team and control themselves on offense and defense.
Obviously, the stars of the night are Nate Robitaille putting up 30 points. The junior captain stepping up offensively like we've been hoping he would do all season long. Had the complete game here this evening. And Kebanaso, the double-double machine that he's become this season, had 12 points and, at least by our reckoning, nearly 20 rebounds. Obviously, he played some big defense as well, and coming up with some huge blocks. The 2 point guards, Vasquez and Edmonds, had solid performances. A big turnaround, I think, from the way they finished the game against Taunton last week, Mo. They played with a lot more composure down the stretch.
And you know what? This game is definitely going to help out this Attleboro team for until the end of the season, and they go into the playoffs, and we definitely want to hope that. But they are going to take this. They're going to utilize every positive thing out of this because there was so least of negativity from this game, and they're going to use that. And to have a close game, fight through every quarter, and definitely finish off in the last 2 minutes of the game. And, you know, when you fight, and you have the pride you have that this Attleboro team has, you're definitely going to get a W.
3 close games in a row played by the Bombardiers. They go 2-1 in those close games and come up with a big home victory against their Division I rivals from the Big 3 conference. And the win puts Attleboro now at 5-3 on the season. Durfee with the loss dropped to the identical record, 5-3. It's a big win here tonight and a great finish to a very good ball game. I want to thank our director, David Angel. Anthony Filos was on graphics. Ryan Raftery and Dana Lesperance were our replay people here tonight on camera. Neil Goodchild, Jared Garber, and Mike Wynn. For Mauricio Toro, I'm Josh Perry. Your final score, once again, from Attleboro High School, the Bombardiers beating the Hilltoppers 59-55. Thank you for joining us. Hope you'll join us again next time. This has been a presentation of Attleboro High School basketball on AACS 15.